Elon Musk just hit a new milestone. The controversial CEO of Twitter, Tesla, and SpaceX is now the first person ever to lose $200 billion in wealth. That's billion with a B. According to the Bloomberg's Billionaires Index, Musk is now worth a paltry $137 billion. That's good enough to make him the second richest man in the world, but it also means that his net worth has fallen by $203 billion since peaking at $340 billion in November of 2021. Tesla's sinking stock price is largely responsible for that drop, and his $44 billion purchase of Twitter hasn't done much to help either, but I'm sure there are a lot of people willing to take some of his cash.
Imagine having $200 billion to lose. But in the same week that Andrew Tate was arrested, another big and final L to wrap up 2022 is Elon losing a huge chunk of his net worth, more than anyone in the history of rich people. So let's look in detail about where it all went wrong. CNN reported that the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and Twitter is now worth $137 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Good enough for second place on the list of the world's richest, behind LVMH chairman Bernard Arnault. But at its peak in November 2021, Musk's net worth was $340 billion. So the bulk of Musk's wealth is tied up in Tesla, whose stock plunged 65% in 2022. Demand for Tesla's weakened as competition in electric vehicles from established automakers surged last year. The company missed its growth targets and scaled back production in China. Its fourth quarter deliveries announced Monday missed Wall Street's estimate. So Musk's $44 billion purchase of Twitter hasn't helped Tesla's stock or Musk's personal wealth. Musk, the largest shareholder of Tesla, has sold $23 billion worth of Tesla shares since his interest in Twitter became public in April. So, maybe buying Twitter, as a midlife crisis, divorced dad moment wasn't such a good idea. I mean, I have no sympathy for billionaires. I'm laughing over here, but
they don't need our sympathy, I promise you.
Yeah, just the reading that there's a billionaire index that exists hurts me a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, their mega yachts don't run on our sympathies. I promise you that. The thing about this story that strikes me, honestly, Ray, is how funny the money is when we report these people's quote unquote net worth and how much of it is based on stock market speculation. Basically, guys, people's and companies and hedge funds, etc., private equity, whatever, their best guesstimates of what a company is actually worth. It's not like this guy had $320 billion at his disposal. It was just based on a stock price, right? That's just based on speculation. It's kind of hilarious to think that this guy lost $200 billion, and yet it's still in the top 3 richest people in the world, according to quote unquote net worth. But yeah, I think buying Twitter on a lark was foolhardy. I think he's seeing that now, where he's just like, oh, I can't just throw stuff on the wall and hope that it sticks. And like, there's rules to running a social network and trying to monetize it. You can't just be some cowboy talking about free speech all day. I think there's definitely some humbling there, but yeah, I have a feeling this guy is gonna somehow land on his feet with the rest of the 130 billion he got left, Ray.
Yeah, it seems like it might be
he'll somehow be able to buy groceries and Pampers for his kids. I think he'll figure it out.
Yeah, he'll be able to make rent this month, it seems. Yeah. But it also seems that he is able to ruin everything he touches, like the public transit in Los Angeles. Tesla owners Silicon Valley Twitter posted this aerial footage of LA holiday traffic this past weekend. So this went quickly viral and brought a lot of pushback on Twitter. So let's look at some of that pushback. First is Senator Nina Turner, host of Unbossed here on TYT, who posted trains The answer is trains. And she's completely right. And just by the way, Elon Musk played a huge role in killing public transit in Los Angeles. So back in 2017, he proposed building a Hyperloop tunnel instead of a proposed high-speed rail system. So at the time, the Whittier Daily News reported that billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, famous for altering the realms of space travel in cars with SpaceX and Tesla, is winning political support in LA for his next innovation. Musk's plan is to build a supersonic, environmentally friendly Hyperloop mass transit system beneath LA County, just getting a thumbs up from local political leaders, he tweeted on Sunday. But once the pandemic hit, Musk dipped LA to head to Texas, and the tunnel construction just became a parking lot. So Elon Musk's first prototype Hyperloop tunnel is no more. Bloomberg reports that the roughly 1 mile long white steel tunnel running along Jack Northrop Avenue near SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California, has been removed and will be replaced with parking spaces for employees. So instead of LA getting the Hyperloop, Nevada in Las Vegas got the Hyperloop, and this was the result: more traffic.
Yeah,
is it boring driving down here with all of this? Oh my, there's a traffic jam.
Oh, you know what? When it's busy with new people constantly, it's not too bad. But when it's slow and you're by yourself, it kind of gets a little boring sometimes. Just circling around constantly.
And the Hyperloop is the same tactic that's been tried over and over again, just adding another lane to the highway to decrease traffic. And it never works. It has never worked. And researchers are banging their head up against a wall because they know the answer is trains. It's public transportation. Woz, what do you think? You're in LA, so what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, look, it's funny. I'm of two minds here about LA traffic. One, I think, and I've said this before, I think it gets a little overblown by people in LA because generally life here is so damn easy. The rare time that something hard happens, like overcast weather and like drizzling, people like, oh, the weather is so bad. Or, when there's traffic, they complain about traffic. At the same time, the complete and utter lack of a competent public transportation system out here, it sucks. It provides no alternative to, hitting the 101 or the 405 or the 10 or whatever. But to be honest, man, holiday traffic is bad everywhere. I think in New York, I'm sure we got plenty of public transportation in New York, where I'm from, and the traffic is pretty horrible most of the time. So like, I'm one of those people. I would love to blame Elon for this, but I think generally just in very heavily populated areas, even in places like New York that has a bustling, very competent public transportation system, traffic is gonna be messed up around holidays.
Yeah, and I was flying for this holiday season, and I took the Blue Line out to O'Hare Airport here in Chicago, and you go along I-90 here, and the traffic was just at a standstill. But I'm sitting on the train laughing at them because I can get where I need to go.
Silly rabbits.